Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, Traps to Befriend to Obtain Information. Traps to befriend to obtain information. Some of you all are caught in a trap. A trap that was specifically designed to obtain some information, to build a false friendship, to get someone to do something that is close to you, or possibly to get you to hand over, to deliver, to give whoever it is that is closely connected to you. You opened up the door when you did not look into very basic, very simple information, background checks, research, interviews. You assumed that people were honest, that they were good, that their intentions were very, very pleasant, profitable, sweet, nice. You were very optimistic about the connection. But then you learned over time that it was nothing more than a trap. Some of you all are getting over your disappointment, your shock, your upset, your loss, while others are headed toward similar traps. So today I'm going to do some exposing of some of the shady, manipulative, downright evil things, once again, that people do. Children of darkness. Satan is very intelligent, and he puts very smart people up to doing some dirty things. You may be used to do some things, or you may not be, but someone around you is. There is a lot that goes on in the natural as well as in the spiritual. The natural being what most people know about: knowledge, information, communication, what you studied in school, what you learned on the job, your training, your degree, your expertise in whatever. But then, of course, there are things that happen in the spiritual realm, things that are designed to annihilate you, to confuse you, to make you do some things that you wouldn't otherwise do, to set you up to fall, or to get other people to do some things to hurt you. These children of darkness, they come in all sorts of shapes, colors, sizes. They come from all sorts of backgrounds. Some of them have much wealth, others do not. Some of them have been taught by the best of the best, and others have been taught by nothing more than street hustlers, pimps, players, and for some of you all, you know the rest. We have some people who have been raised by very controlling individuals, bitter people, cold-hearted people, people who torture, people who abuse. And so sometimes you find yourself creating all sorts of traps for others when you are not walking on the right side with God, when you are not one who is spiritual in the least, when you could care less about people's feelings. Before long, you are setting up all sorts of traps. Have I covered everything when it comes to befriending and obtaining information and the types of personalities? Not just yet. Obtaining the information. There is a plan, there's a scheme, there's an agenda. Sometimes people just create something right off the top of their head. I need to befriend her. Why? Because I like her, because I want her, because I think that she's going to make us much money. I need to get close to him. Why? Because I just want somebody who I could spend a little time with. And besides, I know that he's going to do A, B, and C for me if I give him what he wants. Oh, I need to get involved with this group. Why? Because this group is going to be able to help us. This group is going to benefit us in some way. There are some things that I want from this group. I want power. I want prestige. I want influence. I want intelligence. I want something. And some people get very angry, get very passionate. Some will even threaten to hurt you if you so much as act like you want to breathe any information to anyone. They know how to be very angry behind closed doors about their determination to obtain something from someone. They will scare people in their circle, and then they will go out into the public and they will act very sweet, very nice, very charming. And those who do not think beyond what they see, well, they will be deceived. Those who don't spend time just studying people, once again, they too will be deceived. Those that could care less about anything spiritual, about God, tapping them and telling them, listen, this one is not a friend. This one is up to something. Well, they will be blindsided as well. Oh, yes, the gullible, the naive, the ones who are very easily tricked into believing anything that looks beautiful, looks nice, got a lot of money, a lot of power. Oh, yeah, they will be deceived. So we have these people who are very intelligent, and they sit back and they come up with an agenda to befriend you to obtain some information. These people may operate in your family. These people may operate at your job or at the church or in the civic group. They may be anywhere, coming up with some way to get something. You know that it is not of God when you are left feeling quite empty, feeling quite alone. Wow, I've been had. This person got what they wanted out of me. Now they don't follow up to find out anything more about me. I thought they cared about me. I thought they loved me. It was all a smoke screen, my friend. We just needed to get some things done. I'm sorry you got used. I'm sorry that somebody got hurt. Oh, I'm sorry that even I'm sorry that even someone died in the process. But, you know, it is what it is. It's business as usual. And so these people go on about their day-to-day living, thinking that there will be no consequences as a result of what they have done to some people. But I know a righteous God. I know a powerful God. I know a God who has created men as well as women and children as well as animals' heartbeat. And I tell you that those who think that they are slick, those that are coming up with all sorts of trickery, I personally say the kind of prayers that stop some people before they even think twice about getting some things done. I say the kind of prayers that will do some damage. Yes, because I believe in a mighty God who not only builds people up, but he tears them down. Because if you're on the right side with the Lord, you don't have to worry about anything, right? If you are honest, if you are transparent, if you are doing things out the goodness of your heart and all of that, there's nothing to be concerned about. But when you are just downright cold and evil and calculating, and you're not transparent and you're dishonest and you're telling a bunch of falsehoods, then, well, you have fallen right into a trap that unfortunately God set up. Now, there are those individuals who they fall into Satan's trap. Okay, it started off where we are going to figure out a way to build a relationship with this individual. It can be through those who are closest to him or her, or it could be a direct relationship. But either way, we need some type of connection, because if we don't have a connection, we can't get what we want. Then after that, we are going to ask some questions. And of course, we got to have some information to give these individuals as well, or that individual, because of course people don't like to give up anything without receiving something. So we got to give them something. Then after we get a little bit of what we want, then we're going to go in for some of the bigger things. Okay. And we're going to use this individual to get into certain circles, and we're going to infiltrate some systems a bit, right? We're going to get some people to be a bit confused about what really is going on. We're going to create some distractions. We're going to put something out there for people to just kind of gravitate to, right? They're going to be like dogs on a bone, but the real information that we want is over here. And while we're doing what we're doing, they're going to be too busy chasing after that bone. Then what we're going to do is we are going to obtain some information through some of those other folks that are a bit frustrated about what is going on with those dogs who are after that bone. Because, you know, sooner or later, somebody's going to be a bit disgruntled, and then that's when they're going to start talking. And we're going to use that information to get some of our people in, because usually people who start talking, some of them are in trouble. And they're going to need some help. And so we are going to act as if we are helping them. All the while, we're going to use those people to place our people where they need to be. Does this sound familiar for some of you all? It should, because we are seeing this sort of thing play out in mainstream media. And we've seen this happen over and over again in the past when it comes to government, when it comes to central intelligence. We have seen this sort of thing play out in our own families. We have seen this sort of thing play out in various affiliations. Dirty, downright, cunning individuals. By the time they get your money, by the time they have said that they love you, even in personal relationships, they have already gotten everything that they wanted. And then some. Because trust was established, a bond was established. There was some fake help. There was some fake information. The information that they gave you was nothing compared to what they got from you. You see? Sometimes it's not even about money. It's just about getting something that is solid, something that is so good that people will be able to benefit from whatever that information is. Opportunity, location, where someone is. Maybe someone's looking for someone, and how do I figure out where that person is? Well, and see, the thing is that you can't get anything from someone without having some idea of who they are. You have to study them. You have to get to know them. You have to build a bond. You have to connect with some folks. You got to do a lot of things, right? This is why sometimes when you are in positions of power or influence, you can't be too buddy-buddy with anyone, not even some of the closest members of your family. Because you never know who's going to come along and mess with somebody's mind. You never know what seeds they're going to sow in that person that will eventually grow and grow and grow some more. And then before long, they have won that person over. Sometimes there is that knife that someone has right behind their back, and you see the smile, but you don't see the knife. When you walk close with the Lord will show you where the knife is. He'll show you where the gun is. He'll show you where the mousetrap is. He will show you what kind of cheese people are using to entrap you. You will know the fruits on their tree, whether it is ripe, whether it is spoiled, whether you are for me or whether you are against me. You will know. Sometimes we have individuals who just simply don't like us for any number of reasons. And so what they do is they've got to find fault. Sometimes if they can't find fault, then they've got to strategically place you somewhere doing something, even though it's all incorrect. It's not factual. It is ugly. It's evil. But hey, they want to do that because they just don't like you. Some people are obsessed with their dislike of people, obsessed with their dislike of a country. Come on now. The United States is not the least bit loved by those who don't have as much as we have. If anything, there is numerous covetous people, jealous people, people who will fight, who will kill, who will steal just to come over here and then get over here and start fighting and stealing and killing. I know that for some of you all, you don't want to believe that someone who, they sounded the alarm a bit, there was the red alert sign, will go so far as to think like this. But you got to understand, not everybody is dumb. Not everybody is stupid. Not everybody is walking around and just focus on what the entertainers are up to or what is going on in their families. Not everybody is concerned about what you might be concerned with, which is just taking care of your family and minding your own business. There are people who sit back and they study your shopping habits. They study who you talk to. They study how you feel. They look on your social networking sites. They look at all of your accomplishments. They look at the things that you've lost. They look for your weaknesses. They play into what you have as well as what you don't have. They tell you that they can help you. And for a time, some people really do help before they hurt. This is why I started off the message talking about those who have been hurt, who have been burnt already by people who befriended them, who claim that they loved them, who claim that they would look out for them, that they would have their back. And then before long, they stab them in the back. We take a moment right now and we get God on a case. We ask the Lord to intervene. We ask the Lord to just put his angels all around us, as well as use his angels to fight these very difficult battles. We also ask that the Lord does not allow anyone to come and infiltrate us in any sort of way, any way that is going to bring harm upon us as well as those that we love. We know that at times the enemy will look as if he is winning, but we know that God will take every situation that appears to be ugly and evil and turn it around for his good as well as our good. Some of you all, you haven't seen the positive in any of this. If anything, you've seen the negative. So you need to pray that the Lord will open up your eyes and see the positive in what is taking place in all of these challenges and the deception and the ugliness in what somebody or some group has started with you or with others. You also want to be the voice of wisdom if you are not the one going through all of this. You want to be that one that is supportive of that person who's coming to you saying, I think that somebody is up to something. I think that the group is stalking me. I think that the group is doing something to bring me down. I need your help. You see, we got people out here who deal in reputation management on and off the internet. We've got public relations folks who are very skilled at making sure that one's reputation is quite stellar. We've got people in this world who are masters at spinning media stories around, as we can clearly see over and over again in the media. We've got some people who are very intelligent and know how to find out who is starting the stuff, whatever that stuff might be, and bring them to justice. We know some people who can be able to do some things that will make it quite difficult for individuals in certain industries. And of course, our God is above all, and he knows how to deal with things from a spiritual perspective. And he's got his people who are very skillful at intercessory prayer, at deliverance, casting out demons, people who are able to call out angels to work for those who are hurting. And yes, I have to take a moment to praise the Lord for the times in my life where I know it was nothing but God who dealt with a number of people, places, and things. So don't underestimate people. Don't assume that everybody thinks the way you think. Don't assume that everybody who's new, who's fresh, as well as some of the old folks that have been around for a while, that they are just looking out for you, because a lot of times people are not looking out for others. They're looking out for self. And I've exposed selfish people over and over again. Check out some of those audios on selfishness. Check out some of the audios on what's happening prophetically when it comes to these leaders in mainstream media and manipulative people in the family as well as outside of the family. I've got a lot of stuff that gets into the types of things we need to be looking out for, because God will not be mocked. God will not have us be blindsided if we are trusting in him, walking with him, and wanting what's best for ourselves as well as our family. So I thank you once again for just taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Subscribe today. Also, if you haven't given, we do welcome donations. And there is just so much more ahead. So please stay tuned. Well, blessings to you.